guys. So I'm not gonna stay on long, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Actually, hi, welcome to the scope. I'm not gonna stay on long. I'm just gonna show this and tell you something funny really quickly. Because I set off the security alarm. So at this point, I'm either waiting for the police to roll up or I'm waiting for the agent to call me back. Yep, set the alarm off. Yeah, it's not sounding anymore, but I feel like if I walk in, so the code that she gave me didn't work. And I'm like, well, if I walk in, is it gonna go off again? She hasn't called me back yet, but now I'm on Periscope, so she can't really call me back. So that's why I'm not gonna stay on long. The funny things that happen when you're out showing houses. This is new construction behind me, and I am in what I will call a not so desired neighborhood, not as desirable neighborhood. We'll say that. You guys know realtors, we're not supposed to say this is a good neighborhood, this is a bad neighborhood. I'm not supposed to say that. It's subjective. I guess the cops aren't coming. Been out here for a while. What part? I am off of Shell Road right now. I'm off of Shell Road. So Smiles knows exactly where I am. I'm off of Shell Road. Let me do my introduction. Of course, I always forget it. I'm Rashida Clark, and I am in Hampton, Virginia right now, sitting outside a house because I've set the alarm off, and I don't want to go back in yet until I know what the code is and I know that I can turn it off. But my buyer is supposed to be coming, and I already told him that I set the alarm off, so you know, whatever. It's all good. This is stuff that happens when you're showing property. I cannot read that, but I will go back and translate it. I hope it's something good. So really quick, let me just talk about, that was a funny thing. So me setting the alarm off, it went off for like 5 minutes before it stopped. Anyway, I want to talk about why buyers are, I think, the reason for the slow market rebound. And I mean real estate market. I'm dealing with a couple of buyers, and well, I'm in a black neighborhood, so right now. Dealing with a couple buyers, and all they want to do is lowball every offer they put in. You guys, if you follow my Periscope, I've talked about lowballing offers before. I'm pretty sure I have. I talk about it all the time. Okay? If you feel like a house doesn't deserve the price, or at least, welcome guys, welcome to the scope. It all depends on where you are. Smile says, I just want a house. Buyer's market or seller's market, it all depends on where you are. And I tell people, don't watch the national news to get your real estate information. Real estate is extremely localized. That's what I call it, localized. It's extremely localized. And I mean that, actually, you could even break it down to neighborhoods. It's not even by city. Right now, we have certain price ranges. Hi from Paris. We have certain price ranges that are selling faster than others. We have certain school districts that sell faster than others. You have certain neighborhoods that sell faster than others. So to give just a blanket, we're in a buyer's market, we're in a seller's market, I can't. I've got houses in lots of different neighborhoods that I have listed for sale. Some of them are flying off the market and some of them are sitting. Same city. And all of them are, and the ones that are sitting aren't necessarily in a bad neighborhood. So you know, I can't really say, if you look at the numbers in Hampton and in Newport News, we're in a seller's market. You're the real MVP. We're in the seller's market in Hampton and Newport News, but like I said, I've got homes in certain neighborhoods that I can't give it away, and I've got homes in other neighborhoods where I'm getting multiple offers on them. It just all depends. I mean, you just never know. But I've got buyers still that want to lowball every offer. You guys, if you're buying and you're looking at a house and you feel like you want to lowball the offer $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, either one, you need to be re-educated about real estate. This isn't TV, okay? I know a lot of people watch HGTV and they watch all those shows and they feel like they're just going to negotiate, and they feel like the sellers are desperate and they're going to give them whatever they can give them. But that's not how it works in the real world. It's not. If a house is worth what it's worth, if the seller has been listening to the agent and they're being reasonable, they are pricing their house based on location and condition, and sometimes the market. I'm selling my house, won't sell for any less. Yeah, and I think that's what buyers forget. It's like on the buy side, they're thinking, I want to try to get the price down at every dime I can get it. And then they also want closing costs, and they want to beat the seller up on repairs, even down to the doorknob. But buyers are forgetting, you essentially are hurting the market. When you're trying to lowball everything and get stuff for super cheap, think about when you're on the other side of that and you need to sell your house after you bought it. Think about when you need to sell your house. Those low prices, unnecessarily low. Now, if the house is a piece of crap, then that's one thing. If it's in terrible condition, that's one thing. I'm not talking about houses like that. But when you go to sell your house and buyers and everybody else, they're pulling down the market, making these low offers, and all these low sales are coming in, it's affecting your value. It's affecting your equity. They better learn to trade. Exactly. It's affecting your equity. So, I try to get people to think about it from both sides. Like, yeah, it sounds good to be like, oh, I offered $25,000 less than what they were asking for. That's not the name of the game. I feel like people think sometimes like we're on TV. Or the other thing I run into, people feel like everybody that has their house for sale is desperate. They're not. They're not. Most people have an option. They could sell it or they don't have to. They could leave it on the market for 6 months or they don't have to. So they're not desperate. They're not going to take anything just because you're offering it. And we're fighting with that right now for sellers who need to sell. And we know the market, and especially in good neighborhoods, is good. Sell it or rent it out. Yeah, but right now, what we're running into is that we've had a lot of people that have been holding the house for a couple years anyway because they were upside down a few years ago. Now the market is a little bit better, and so they want to go ahead and get off their hands. But then on the flip side of that, it's so much stricter now when you're trying to get a second home. A lot of lenders will not allow you to just rent that house out and go buy another one unless you have a certain amount of equity in it, or you've got a certain amount of liquid cash or a down payment that you could put down on the next house. So it's not like it was before the market crash where you could just go buy 2 or 3 homes and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna rent it out, and that was it. No, they want to prove every single thing. They want to prove you're going to get this amount of rent. They want to prove you have this amount of equity. They want to prove that you're stable enough to be able to carry those 2 mortgages for the times when you don't have a renter, or the times when your income may fall. All those different variations come into play. So a lot of people right now they want to move up, but they don't want to rent because they either don't have enough equity, or they just don't want to be stuck potentially carrying those 2 mortgage payments. They just don't want to be stuck. Stay away from the banks. You're on the investor side though. We're talking about regular buyers who are probably going to be buying using a loan. Every bit of your business. Yep, Smiles knows. He knows. So right now, I don't know what the price of this house is. So this house is brand new. It's priced for its location and obviously for its condition. Especially when you're buying new construction, you guys, you got to keep that in mind, that new construction, you're mainly buying at cost. So you're not going to get a lot of equity in new construction. So this is listed for $179,900. New construction, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. So yeah, that's my rant about buyers. Everybody wants to lowball. They think it's a game. And, I tell a lot of my buyers, sometimes you just got to lose. I mean, that's my attitude. Most of the time, a lot of the buyers have to just, oh, I forgot the square footage. You have to just see it for yourself, feel it for yourself. And they have to lose out on that first house to really understand. 1,500 square feet. They have to see it for themselves to understand that it's serious. And I had another buyer, bless her heart, she's buying a little nice, cute starter home. Well, she was. We made an offer on it. They didn't believe that there were multiple offers on the house. I said, put your best foot forward. By that I mean make a good, strong offer. Sellers do not have to counter you. They don't. It's a choice. So if you make a lowball offer and you insult them, they don't have to counter you. Yeah, I know. 179. I would love to move to Texas. Well, I don't know if I could handle the heat, but I'd like to move to Texas. It's a lot cheaper out there. It's kind of a we're kind of in between. We're in the south technically, but we don't have southern prices, but we also don't have northern prices either, like Northern Virginia prices. They're ridiculous. So my buyer, she really didn't believe that we were competing. Right. She didn't believe we were competing, so she didn't put her best foot forward. We lost the house. All I could do is write the offer and make my recommendations. I mean, I gotta listen to my client, but hey, I say put your best foot forward. The sellers don't have to counter. Nova's crazy. Yeah, Nova's crazy. Northern Virginia, DC area, it's crazy. I've got a friend out there, and I think she said to get what she wants, and she's looking on the lower end, it's like $350,000, that is, to $400,000. And she's like, this is like a starter home. Like, she's not buying anything big and extravagant. Yeah, she's in DC. So anyway, guys, that's my story. I'm gonna see if the lady texts me the code, so maybe I can go back in when my buyer gets here. But you guys, please keep in mind, don't just lowball. And if you feel like a house is that overpriced and you need to lowball it that much, then you maybe need to move on, or maybe just submit a verbal offer. Don't even go through the hassle of writing all the paperwork up. Just submit a verbal offer. I mean, if it's that low, you just need to move on, because sometimes, seriously, sellers get insulted when they see these lowball offers. That's a good question. I prefer the listing side. By listing, so they mean what that means, because some people get it confused. So you can either be a buyer's agent or a seller's agent. You can represent either side. I know some people specialize. Like I have a friend at Liz Moore. She specializes with buyers. That's her thing. I prefer being on the listing side, so I prefer working with the sellers. It's not as much work. And I love my buyers. I love them all to death. But buyers, hi, welcome to the scope. Buyers will run you ragged. That's the thing. They'll run you ragged, because most buyers now, they want to see every single house in their price range. Every single house in their price range. Even when I could look, after I've seen a couple houses with them, I don't, but I know a lot of people that have used it recently. Could I hit the whip? I don't know what that means. They want to see every house in their price range. Even after I have talked to them, I've seen a few houses with them, and I know really what they're looking for. They still want to see every single house in their price range. Doesn't matter. They don't like to narrow it down. They feel like they're missing out, which I can kind of get. I was probably like that when I bought my first house. No, you don't, Smiles. You're not. No, you don't. Smiles is one of my buyers. Yeah, I mean, if you do your research, you look at the neighborhood, you know what you will and won't accept. I mean, there are ways you can narrow down. If you want something that's flipped, if you want something that's move-in ready, I've got buyers that want something move-in ready or fairly updated, that look at stuff that's torn down. You know what I'm saying? Like, completely jacked all the way up. Hi, y'all. Yeah. Hi, how you doing? So, I'm like, come on. I know you don't want this kind of house. Why are we going to look at it? Because I just want to see. I just want to make sure. Okay. So on the sell side, you list it for sale, you advertise it, you do all the good stuff you got to do, and market it, and let the buyer's agent do all the hard work. That's the easier part. But your money comes faster when you're on the buy side than on the sell side. That's the thing. That's the only difference, really. Money is the same, but it comes faster on one side than the other. Top 3 listing tips. Top 3 listing tips. I would say, number 1, listen to your agent or your realtor. Hopefully you work with a realtor. Because we know the market and we can pull a lot of data that you probably can't pull. I know a lot of sellers that really depend on Zillow. Zillow is crazy. I don't know if people at Zillow might be smoking crack. I don't know. But, listen, and declutter. Declutter is huge. If you guys saw some of the walkthroughs I did this morning, I mean, Zillow is trash. If you look at some of the walkthroughs I did this morning, they you know, they need to declutter. You have to emotionally move out of your house because you want somebody else to live there. And people go, but I still live here, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to take all my stuff down. Okay, well, that's fine. And then you can continue just living in it then. You know, it's easier. People can visualize their self, their stuff in your house when you have decluttered it. The last thing I would say, be flexible, because the markets change all the time. They shift. The market is dynamic. Real estate market never stays the same. It's always changing. It's always shifting. And so, you know, you may be in a market where it's customary for sellers to pay closing costs. So you may be in a market where it's customary for sellers to do this or do that. You know, so just be flexible, and especially depending on the market that you're dealing with. If your home is like mainly in a market where you're going to be getting first-time home buyers, it is horrible. If you're in a market where you're going to be getting first-time home buyers mainly looking at your home, most first-time home buyers are going to need closing costs. You know what the particular, whoever your target buyer is, know what they may likely request from you, and just kind of be prepared for that. Those are my tips. All right, they're probably trying to call me, you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go. Hopefully I won't walk back into this house and the alarm will go back off. You guys, like, cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. You're welcome. Bye, guys. I've been on all day today. I'm gonna try to get on tomorrow and Friday. I will do a walkthrough. Hey, we got to get together on Saturday, I think, if you found something there. And the other thing is, somebody asked about the market, if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. There are some places where we can't find anything good. Everything's gone. Everything. Smiles can tell you. Everything good is gone. So that is a seller's market. That's a seller's market. I got another buyer, the one who just lost that house because she didn't think we were competing. Can't find her anything either. That's a seller's market. All the listings are under contract already, and there's nothing good new coming up on the market. Nothing. Can't find my buyers anything. But that's not everywhere. Right? Working hard. I'll see y'all later. Let me call my buyer and see if he's going to. It does really suck. It does really, really, really suck. Oh boy. I'm gonna call my buyer and see if he's on his way so he can come see this house. And you guys pray that if I go back in, the alarm doesn't go off and the police don't come, like, arrest me. Thank you. I appreciate you guys watching. Yep, I'll message you or text you later. I'll just text you because it's easier. You'll get it faster. Bye, guys.